Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's a special New Year's Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Giants taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
He's tackled.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 61 yards.
I'm so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working. And they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Another carry.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
43-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. So here are the Giants now in great field position to start their initial drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
Well, I know one thing in baseball, you want to have your closer, right, to finish off games. How about finishing off a season? Last week, week 16, he was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week as he looks forward to this one here to close out the year.
And, of course, he'll have the playoffs to look forward to. Already clinched a berth there, but indeed a great week 16. And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. On second down now, Callaway. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down. Now a give right side. Callaway. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. On third down, Callaway. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on third down.
On third down, Callaway. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Can this defense hold him out? And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Giants. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, they just put a little sizzle in their steak there. First quarter, 4th and goal, run it in. A boost.
I think they showed confidence in their defense by going for it. That's telling their defense, look, we're counting on you guys, and we know that we believe in you because we go for it here. Even if we don't get it, get field position on our side, and you'll stop them. Instead, they put it in the end zone and tally up 6 points.
First and 10. At their own 25.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Ball carrier.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
He shows off some of that elusiveness there as he's able to dance his way to a gain of about 4.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
The quarterback sacked.
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be called for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club? Unable to hold on to the football and take care of it.
Yeah, 2 straight fumbles for them to start out.
Yeah, you would think that this team would come in ready to go. Sometimes just mentally not prepared, and it shows up in these types of plays.
It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Now a give right side. Callaway. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Callaway. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Now a give right side, Callaway. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And again this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Seahawks nothing.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. On 2nd down now, Callaway. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
The running back.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
At the 45-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Now a give right side. It's Larson. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. 22 yards there, a first down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Tackle made at the 20.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
And he's got some space here. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Ball carried by number 23.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Loss of a yard.
With the way things have gone in this game, I think they've got to consider going for it here. I realize it's just the second quarter, so they're not panicking, but they need something to give them positive momentum to get things going.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Giants take over 1st and 10.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get...
This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there just before halftime. 62 yards. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Giants add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy...
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts.
Second down.
As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Roberts with it over the middle.
The pass.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This time they stay on the ground, and this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. A busy final day of the regular season, so let's get to it. We'll kick things off with an AFC South matchup. Indianapolis traveling to Jacksonville. And that one just before halftime with the Jaguars out on top. The Jaguars looking to move up in the playoff race if they can, as a win would get them to 11-4 with 1 to go. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. The Dolphins seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Rodgers on the return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On first down, Tucker. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's going to be caught. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Butker now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants.
Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC.
And this certainly confirms all the chatter, just how big of a final weekend this is. For the moment, the 6th seed is theirs, but it'll take a victory to officially lock that down.
And we have to keep reminding ourselves that number 6, that's no longer the final seed. We go 7 deep in each conference now. But you're at the point now where you have to win to guarantee your spot. You don't want to get stuck scoreboard watching and hoping other teams can help you out by winning their games or losing their games. You got to take care of business yourself and erase all doubt.
It's
second down and inches. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
On the play. And the Seahawks first down.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Larson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Running back.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Now left side on the swing pass. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction. So now what can they do on 3rd? From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
But the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now here's Michael Dixon. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. He'll field this at the 5. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that.
It seems like every year these guys get better and better at It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Tucker. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Throwing on 1st down. Tucker. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
Okay, we need to double-check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
After the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way...
And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes.
You know, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. On 1st and 10, Tucker, he sets to fire deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Back to throw. Tucker, and that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided and that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Giants from a yard out. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that once he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At their own 31-yard line.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively.
And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Now another.
So the punt goes for 56 with a decent return of 13.
And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that...
And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
A 10-yard loss on the play. It's 3rd.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you've got to imagine the celebration is already well underway. Smiles up it as he throws, and the ball is out. It's a live football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
Fumble on the play.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 5.
The pass.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out.
5 yards.
Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Seahawks.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
New York set to take the field.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Looking to throw. Tucker. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
A short one here secured by the tight end Waller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Pickup. 1st down, Seahawks.
They'll look to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
30-yard line, 2nd and 12.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll look to throw again. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
at their own 20.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field.
And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined that.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass, yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that penalty?
I'm so confused. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Tucker. He's going to go up top again. It's caught inside the 25.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see them kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking left side, and it's complete.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Giants, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.